The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up for UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guys, me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Oh, man. I was pretty close to soloing an episode, Scott. Very close. Almost hit a solo underdog lineup. Janelle Salon didn't get there. Gave a plus 215 dog on the money line. Shout out to the Atlanta Dream beating the first half. I didn't even need just the first half. I could have did outright. But then Asia Wilson didn't have the game, and it was the Jackie Young game. And you know what? It is what it is. Still a pretty good day. We hit a lot of things we talked about on the solo episode. Scott Studio Right Show, glad to have you back. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, good to be back. I was busy with some tennis stuff yesterday, so apologies there. Pretty interesting WNBA card over the weekend, especially yesterday. We saw the Sun bury the Valkyries. That game was over very quickly.
Hey, everybody get blown out sometime, man.
Pause. But yeah, definitely want to point out that the Sun had a great game. That game was over very quickly. Yeah, it felt like there was a lot of good basketball. The Lynx finally lost a home game, which was, I'd say, extremely surprising. Not necessarily based on the Dream being good, but because the Lynx hadn't lost a home game in months. But either way, nice job by the Dream there. And nothing else really add. We know Breanna Stewart, not yesterday, but she got injured in the last game. It's not serious, but she'll probably end up missing a couple of games, including the game tonight. So there was some news, some stories, but either way, pretty entertaining cards over the weekend, and we'll see if it carries over into Monday.
Yeah, very entertaining card. We have 2 games on a Monday, 3 games on a Tuesday that we're going to talk about on this episode. Just before we get into that, the Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews, and you know what that means. They're bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out a 1 word of a 32-word phrase that will have a chance to win a $1,000 future if you can put the whole phrase together by listening to all 32 team previews. So make sure you do that. It's the phrase that pays, and it can pay you a $1,000 circa future. Scott, if you had $1,000 circa future, do you know what you would put it on?
No, not even close. I'd have to look through it and figure something out.
What's the Valkyries in the playoffs right now?
As you know, I'm also a thorough bettor, so I'd have to line shop and try to find something on Circa that's the best price, and I'd actually deep dive it.
Oh yeah. I think I'd just fire up because I don't want to wait till the whole football season. And the WNBA gives me a point in time where right when football starts, but then I got like a month and then WNBA's over. I think I would use it. I think I would pull a fast one on Sean and Ryan. I'd use it on a WNBA future and get paid really quickly.
Yeah, that could work out too.
Yep. Very. Well, I'm giving out too much sauce, but hey, make sure you guys go. The phrase that pays. All right. Check out Sports Gambling Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. SGPN app, all of that. Cool. 5 games to talk about here, Scott. We're on Monday. This is not a close rematch, but it wasn't long ago. These 2 teams played their first 2 games. Connecticut stole the first one at home. Seattle handled business on the road. Now they're back in Connecticut. The Seattle Storm, or Showers, whatever they're being called nowadays.
They beat the Sky by 80, so that counts for something, I guess.
Yeah, but then after beating the Sky by 80, they had proceeded to immediately drop the game to the Mystics.
Oh, no, correct. I'm just throwing it out there that they did make me money over the weekend because I blindly faded them without Angel Reese.
Very true. Connecticut's catching 12.5 in this game at home against the Seattle Storm. 157.5 is the total. Connecticut Sun are on the second leg of a back-to-back. They did get it done, destroying my Valkyries yesterday. All right. Let me double check Seattle's injury report.
See, it's a back-to-back for Connecticut, which can result in maybe less minutes for Tina, but she barely played because they were up by 30 in 3/4. So
yeah, no, and she played the second leg of the back-to-back a couple of games ago when they just had a back-to-back. So
but I'm saying her stats were horrific in that game, so that's kind of why I'm throwing it out there. They played the Mercury, they got a back-to-back, and she had like 2 points in the entire game. So I wanted to mention that, but she barely played yesterday, so I'm not going to overreact to the back-to-back.
She was killing too.
Yeah, she had like 20-something points.
They couldn't stop her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything else here for the Storm. Looks pretty clean. I mean, I'm for one that I've completely turned on this Storm team, and I just continue to look at lines that they give them, and I'm like, man, this just kind of feels a lot for a Storm team that at times just act like they don't know how to score the basketball. And not for any rhyme or reason. They've done it multiple times with the Dallas Wings at this point. They did it on the road last time, and they played around with the Sun and let the Sun be competitive in that game. 12.5 just feels like a lot of points.
Yeah, I like the Sun in this game. I don't mind on the money line in this game. I understand they're on a back-to-back, but we saw them play Connecticut one time this season already, and guess what? Connecticut was getting a ton of points, and they won outright. So I think the Storm are a team, as you've mentioned many times on the show, they are terrible ATS as a favorite, really bad. And I do think the Storm are going to mess around.
Especially double digits.
Especially double digits. So I like the Sun in this game. They've been playing better lately. Nice win against the Valkyries. They got to set a bunch of people into the fourth quarter because they were up by so much. Fatigue shouldn't play much of a factor, but Connecticut's already beaten this team at home, getting double digits outright. I don't mind 4-1. I see it being mentioned in the comment section by One and Done. I like the Sun plus 400. I think it's a big price. So Storm might win the game, but 12 is crazy.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I knew that because I remember dropping the Seattle stat. Seattle, as a favorite of 7 or more points this season, are 2-7 against the spread. But the Connecticut Sun, when dogs of 10 or more, are 10-6 ATS this season.
Yeah,
10-6.
not bad.
It's 62%, 63%. Yeah. All right, that's easy. Give me the Sun. I really didn't want to take this many points with Seattle. I really, really didn't. But that also adds on to it. I just don't trust this Seattle team to consistently score the basketball. Yes, they can wake up defensively and give you a defensive effort. But when you tell me like that last game, they shut Skylar down, and there was no offense outside of NECA for that team. They scored 58 points.
Yeah, I see Beans mentioned, by the way, it's plus 470 on the Sun money line on DraftKings.
Oh yeah, I see a plus 525 out there. It's a lot out there. All right, yeah, I'm on Storm plus the points. It's too many points. Got to sprinkle on the money line if you take a big dog like that. 157.5 is the total.
I think I'm on the under, but I'm not fully committing.
No, give me the over. Although I did just roast Seattle for not being able to score.
That's why I'm contemplating the under in the game.
Yeah, no, but it's the second leg. It's the second leg of a back-to-back. The Storm, like a defense, is already worse on the second leg of a back-to-back. The overs have been really, really good the past 2 seasons, hitting at some 65, 66% now on the second legs of a back-to-back. So I'm going to continue to play that and take the over. You don't need a lot of points to get over this total. I think I played it. Who was it? Yeah, they just squeaked over in that Valkyries game, and they were blowing them out. So you don't need a bunch of points to get over this total. I'm going to go ahead and go over. Second leg of a back-to-back, I expect to see tired legs. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier for the Seattle Storm, but I like the Connecticut Storm and how they played that last – not Connecticut Storm, the Connecticut Sun and how they played that last game. And I think that defensively with the turnovers, they'll be able to run up a score on their own. So, yeah, I'm on the over 157.5. We'll stick with that trend. Player props. What do we got?
I'm going to ask you about Tina because she's been really good lately. Do you want to assume Tina has a monster game again?
Maybe not on the second leg of a back-to-back for somebody.
That's what I'm saying, but she didn't play many minutes yesterday, so I don't know if that really matters.
If it hits, I'm just not going to play it because she was also questionable earlier before the game with an illness. And I'm sorry. I mean, she might feel better today, but like I was already questioning. The illness kind of scared me off yesterday, and it made me miss a really good play. So I'm just not going to chase it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll go with Bria Hartley. I'll take the over 9.5 points. She's been good lately. It's at minus 122. She's had at least 11 points in 4 straight, so she has been a pretty solid offensive option with this team. She has had at least 15 points in 2 of the 3 meetings this season. She has been good against this team. Give me the over 9.5 for Hartley at minus 122.
Anybody else that is intriguing?
Is there anything you want for the Storm?
I mean, I play Gabby. I like to think that Skylar has a better day, too. Points and assists on Skylar could be interesting. I don't know if Mezion is game planning to take Skylar out the game like what's my man's name? Sidney Johnson. Sidney Johnson straight up game plan to take Skylar out of that game, and he talked about it in the interview. So I don't know if Mezion has that same game plan for Skylar here. So Skylar probably has a better day. But other than that, not really.
I don't really trust the Storm team at all, so I'm good.
Yeah. Not too much for me to play in that game. Not going to lie. All right. Let's see here. Before we get to the next game on the slate, got to talk to the people about mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and your NFL college football futures, all over there at mybookie.ag. You can easy deposit and get lightning fast payouts with cryptocurrency. So head over to mybookie.ag and get down on that sun plus 12 over there. Use promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. You can lock in with Rhythm's power trends, which have been great for the WNBA this season, hitting about 65%. And they just continue to cash, and cash more. Let's see here on the docket of what I like for today. Let's see. Anything? Oh, they are. Oh, Ezzy. Look at this. Ezzy over 6.5 rebounds. A power train, 82.6% win probability. They're expecting Ezzy to have 9.2. That's some plus money if you end up laddering it and she gets to the 9. You got some plus money there. The model has hit 69% of the time this season when the conditions are met for this power trend, which makes Ezzy over 6.5 rebounds a power trend. It's a whole bunch of more power trends. I'm telling you, there's a lot more. You can get a lot more, but you got to go into the Rhythm app for yourself. Get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. RITHMM is how you spell rhythm. Second game up. Liberty, New York Liberty, going up against the Dallas Wings. Liberty are laying 8.5, 170. First of all, this line said the line opened at 4.5, Scott.
I don't remember seeing that.
I never saw that. There's no way that was ever 4.5 because what? I'm still kind of looking at the line now, like they kind of playing on the Liberty name. 172 is the total. That total has been climbing for another good reason, because guess what? Second leg of a back-to-back for Dallas Wings. Like I said in the last game, overs are good on the second leg of a back-to-back for the past 2 seasons. No Breanna Stewart in this game with the injury, and Dallas. What do you have here for me, Dallas? Is this Luka? Oh, that is Luka. I got distracted. Nothing else.
Well, Paige didn't play last game.
Or-
We're assuming she's going to play in this game.
Potentially.
They benched her for rest reasons, I'm assuming, because it was a back-to-back. They just decided we'll use her for the second game.
Yeah, you play her for the second game. It feels like a pretty good comp. But does that change anything for me?
No. They gave up 104 points.
No, it doesn't change anything for me at all. This Dallas team still sucks, and you got to pick and choose your moments to bet them very, very wisely. And the New York Liberty were rolling before their nemesis came back into the building, Scott. The Los Angeles Sparks are now 5-1 in their last 6 games ATS against the New York Liberty, with a couple of outright wins in there.
You said the Sparks?
Yes.
Okay.
The Spark, I don't know why the Spark, and I was looking at the line the whole time over the weekend. I didn't bet it, but I was like, man, this Spark, I just remember, because I
thought it was a massive line for the Liberty, but I didn't think the Sparks should win.
No, they constantly play up for the Liberty. Like, no matter the situation, they always get up for playing the Liberty. I don't know if it's New York. I don't know what it is, the flavor of the month. I don't know what it is, but 5-1 in their last 5. And I'm telling you, they gave the Liberty a game in almost every single one of those. So, like, the Liberty were rolling. They played their nemesis. They lost. Okay. This is a bounce back spot where I think they're going to go on the road and beat the shit out of the Dallas Wings, man. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what Dallas is going to do. Even without Breanna Stewart, I think there's still enough offense. Now, the only thing that I think probably could be an issue is if you have a Sabrina 1 for 15 type of game where she just continues to chuck and it's just not falling. But like Jacquel Jones, I think, is going to have a pretty good matchup and be able to score. Leonie Fibic, I think, is going to be able to score. Natasha Cloud, we know how she gets down. They'll probably push the pace a little bit faster. They'll open up some things for Sabrina. Like, I just don't know how Dallas is going to be able to get stops here.
Yeah, I'm with you. We saw the Wings give up 104 points to an Aces team that was kind of in free fall for the last couple of days. They can't guard anybody. They're a joke of a team. I know Paige didn't play yesterday, but defensively at home, they are so lost that I think even without Stewie, the Liberty can still walk into 90 in this game. I saw their team total last night was like 88.5. Sure, just give me the over on that. I think the Liberty get there. So I'll go with the Liberty in this game too. I like the over in the game because the Liberty's defense hasn't been as good recently, and Stewie, as we know, is a very solid defensive player. Give me the over in the game, but I think the Liberty probably walk into 90 and change.
Yeah. I took the Liberty team total over in the first half last night, Scott, by the way. I also took going into, because we're on, I mean, this is Liberty and over. I don't think we really got it. It's clear Liberty and over. Whoa, why is that playing? There we go.
Bing bang.
All right. So I gave out Leonie Fibic as well, over 9.5 points. Go ahead and add that into the props. I think she's going to have a good day. They've been imploring her, begging her, shoot the ball more, and she has. She's had at least 10 points in the past 6 games. So Fibic, I like her overs. I think Natasha Cloud is going to have the ball in her hands all the time now. A lot more off ball of Sabrina, trying to free Sabrina up, get her in some space, and get her some good looks. So I like Natasha Cloud. However you want to play her, points and assists, points, rebounds, and assists. I think it's a good move there. And Jacquel Jones rebounds, I like that. Over 9.5. You could play a points and rebounds for Jacquel Jones as well, honestly, and I'd be cool with that. And they don't have it, but I'm telling you, some people, like, there's going to be fans of Paige that are watching the Liberty play for maybe the second or third time, possibly, if even that. And they're going to see a player called Maureen Johannes shoot a one-legged 3 today, and they're going to be like, who the fuck is that? Because when somebody is out in that starting lineup, especially somebody to the level of like Breanna Stewart or Sabrina Ionescu, Maureen Johannes just knows how to just come into the game and do exactly what the Liberty need offensively, which is another reason why I like the Liberty to score points here today. So Don't have a line on Marine Johns.
Probably won't. You might get a threes line maybe,
but
I doubt it.
For fun. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine if somebody dropped a Marine John on this line, I might have to send a couple of requests out. All right.
Yeah,
what do you like here, Scott?
I agree with you about the John Quell angle. I think that with Stewie being out, she should dominate a bit more. Thought about going for a page under 10.5 RA, actually. I think 10.5 is a bit high for recent numbers. She has had less than 11 RA in 8 of the last 9 games. So she actually has been trending quite well to the under. At home, she has gone under this in 4 of the last 5. I think 10.5 is just a little bit too high. I think she finishes around 9 if I had to go for a prediction there, but I don't mind Paige under on the RA. Just feels a bit too large based on her recent numbers.
All right. Let's see. Anything else? I don't think I have anything else. I'm not touching Enrique with
I'm not either. She has been playing better lately, though. I have noticed.
Yes, we've noticed. Still won't bet it, but we've noticed. All right. Yeah, that's it. We're on a Tuesday, Scott. 3 games on a Tuesday slate. Oh, and we start off perfectly with my Valkyries on the road going to play the Atlanta Dream. Dream are laying 8.5. 157.5 is the total. Well, Scott, I'd like to inform you that for the first time all season, yesterday was the 27th. For the first time all season, the Valkyries have lost back-to-back first halves. Hasn't happened. First time. It's amazing. It's amazing. First time all season. They lost back-to-back. Now we see what they're made of because those were both his favorites. This right here, they're catching 4.5 in the first half here. See what they do. I'm playing it. I'm still playing it. I'm not giving up on my team, especially because I know the Atlanta Dream start games off slow at times. They can get up on the road, but at home, the game is a lot slower paced. Goes to the under in the first half a lot. If it goes to the under, that leans closer to the dog. Maybe the Valkyries keep it close. The Valkyries first half again for sure. But I will 100% be taking the under in this game. That was the number one bet after the Valkyries game that I saw. Once again, I talked about it before. When the Valkyries get a really bad defensive game and they start to give up a lot of points out of nowhere, Natalie Nakase locks it down the next game. She does not play that. She is all about defense. This is a defensive-minded head coach. She is all about defense. As much as we talk about offense, she is completely about defense, and she's frustrated. And I know she was pissed that they gave up 95 points to the Connecticut Sun. That's not how you want to start an East Coast road trip at all. So I think the defense is going to be on for the Valkyries. The under is very good for the Atlanta Dream, a lot better at home than it is on the road. I think this is a spot where it's a slow pace here, ugly game. Valkyries get up defensively. I like under 157.5. And of course, you're giving my Valkyries 8.5 points. I'm going to take it anytime, any day of the week. I don't care. And it's a nice little letdown spot for the Atlanta Dream, who just gave the Minnesota Lynx their first home loss of the season. So Valkyries plus.
Yeah, I think I'm going to disagree, but I think this game is going to go under. So I agree about the total, but I can't really back the Valkyries right now. It was a nice win against the Wings at home. The Wings, we just said, are a fake basketball team. Besides that, they've been terrible for the last couple of weeks, and it made sense. They're an expansion team. They're 11-13, so of course they were playing, I'd say, significantly better basketball than everybody besides us thought they would earlier in the year. The problem is watching them play, and now Thornton's out for the year with a knee issue. I don't trust them offensively enough. They scored 86 against the Wings, which is impressive, but besides that, they scored 64 against the Sun, 58 against the Storm, and then a couple of close losses to the Mercury and to the Aces, good teams. But the point is, with the Thornton injury, I don't trust this team to consistently put the ball in the basket. And I think they can only win low-scoring games now. So I do like the under. I think that if they want to keep the game close, they have to try to make the game a rock fight. The problem is the Dream have too much offense. Whether it involves Gray, whether it involves Canada, Do you want to throw in Griner in there too, Bree Jones? They just have a lot of options scoring-wise that the Valkyries don't have. And it's a shame because Kayla Thornton was having herself a great year, and now it means nothing because she's done. So I don't think they can replace that. I know you have a couple of other players who can step up on occasion and maybe fill the void. The Dream, though, we know are very, very, I'd say, impressive so far this season for what we thought they'd be. They beat the Lynx last game, which was impressive in Minnesota, which is almost impossible to actually do. And they were up by a lot in that game. They got dicey at the end, but they held on to win. I'm going to go Dream minus 8.5 here. I agree about the under, but I mainly just don't trust the Valkyries' offense to score enough on the road to cover this without Kayla Thornton, without Thornton playing. I just think that Thornton, at the end of the day, was too valuable to this team. And with her being gone, I don't see them finding a way to score enough. So I'm going to go with the Dream minus the 8.5 at home.
All right. Needless to say, everybody understands that I wholeheartedly
I hope the
disagree.
Valkyries, keep this game close and win. It would be cool if they kept the playoff push running, but Kayla is leading the team in points. You're an expansion team that is now missing their number one score. It's just a terrible spot. I think it sucks. So it is what it is. I hope they figure it out. But that's like one of the one players you couldn't afford to lose on your team, in my opinion.
I think the impact that they really miss from her is not her scoring and more of her rebounding and just her presence of an awareness as a rebounder, like not even getting the rebound, but knowing, oh, wait, let me box out this person so somebody else can get it. Let me go and attack the glass and force an offensive rebound and give us extra possessions. I think that's what caught them off guard. Plus, they had a million fucking turnovers. But that's what caught them off guard yesterday. And they'll make adjustments. Natalie Nakase will preach attacking the glass. They'll be better on the glass. Janelle Salon, I'm telling you, she's going to step up big. She's going to step up big in the role of Kayla Thornton.
I do want to point out, by the way, there is a new player the Valkyries started using over the past week who's actually been decent. Rupert. Not bad. It's a new girl. She's played 2 games this season. She's averaging 11 points. I was saying they have a new girl now because Kayla went down. They're using Rupert as one of their centers.
Repair.
Sorry, my bad. Either way, Rupert's been pretty good, averaging 11 points per game.
Yep. Yeah, they got her over from this would be the revenge game, Scott. They got her from Atlanta in the expansion draft and just activated her rights and got her going again, and she is skipped last season for the Olympics and for French. So yeah, no. Rupert, a revenge game against the Atlanta Dream. That would be a deep pool if you called that, Scott. A very deep pool. All right. Player props. Let's see. What do we have available here for this game? Well, I keep playing her, and I'm going to continue to keep playing her. And it has been bad the past couple of games, but now it's down to 10.5 against the Valkyries. Bree Jones, I'm telling you, Bree Jones can get 11 points against my Valkyries. We don't have the size to compete with anybody like Bree Jones. And what's Griner's numbers? I bet Griner's at like 13.5 now because Griner's been good. Oh, she's only at 11.5 too. Oh, you might want to play Griner too, to be honest. Griner had 11 last game. Last game against the Valkyries, Bree Jones had 14, 8 rebounds. Her points and rebounds are at 18.5. Yeah, I like Bree Jones. I understand it's been a rough sledding the past 6 games with only 1 cover. But this is the next cover right here. 10.5 points is way too short for me.
Yeah, I was looking at Alicia Gray. I like her points in the matchup in general. I was wondering if I wanted to go for under on rebounds, though. She had 1 rebound last game. First game against the Valkyries this season, she had 1 rebound. It's at 5.5. I get she has been better rebounding recently, but that number does feel a bit high to me. So I don't mind the under on her rebounds, but I do think Gray can walk into 20 in any given game. She's been really good ever since Ryan Howard got hurt. She was a good player anyway, but she's taken on more responsibility, which I'm thankful for. But she has a prop of 17.5. She has scored at least 24 in 2 of the last 3. Scored 24 in the first meeting this season. I don't mind Alicia Gray over on her points, but under on her rebounds.
All right. Let's see. I think that's it for me in this one. All right. 2 more games to get through. Before we talk about those, though, gotta talk to you about Circa Million and Circa Survivor, the world's greatest sportsbook. Circa Las Vegas is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest. Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed grand prizes. Plus, it can always be more because there's no rake in these contests. If the contest entries get over 21 million, they're going to keep adding more and more and more to the prize pot. So everybody come join, come hang out with the SGPN crew as well. Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st through 23rd. You can hang out with Sean Ryan, getting an amazing show, plus amazing weekend full of live shows and open bars. Plus, they got a 15% off code for you at Circa, promo code SGP15. So head over there to Vegas, sign up there, play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy, footballcontest.com, promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. They're giving away $15 million in grand prizes, $2 million in first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades, none of that. Best Ball is how you play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em. We'll drop a Pick'em lineup at the end of the show. Sign up today. NBA SGPN is that promo code. Claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. Next game up, Chicago Sky on the road going to play the Washington Mystics. Mystics are laying 7.5 currently. 157.5 is the total. I feel like we've seen 157.5 as a total for a number of games. All right, you got to monitor the Aaliyah Edwards wrist injury for the Mystics. I don't know what's going on with that, but she did she play in the second leg of a back-to-back? I don't think so. Yeah, she was ruled out both games. So she didn't play either one of those games. Then you have Ariel Atkins, who's been out for a while. You've had Angel Reese, who's missed a couple of games. And those are really the big things that you're going to have to watch out for the Chicago Sky, because it's a couple of days early. We don't know the injury report. But if those two don't play, it's pretty simple. You just can't bet Chicago.
Yeah, I think they're one of the worst teams I've ever seen when they're missing Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins. I faded them all 3 times without them having their best players, and they've lost every game by 15-plus points. They've lost 2 of the games by at least 37 points. They are all-time bad when Angel Reese and Atkins don't play. I don't know when they're going to come back. I mean, the season's, you could argue, almost over for this team anyway. But the Mystics are a team that can be dangerous at home. That's good enough for me. The Sky, though, without Reese and Atkins, without getting confirmation that either of them are going to play, I can't back this. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I would sacrifice the line move. If it moves to like 9.5, 10.5, but it's confirmed both of them don't play, I would take the Mystics anyway. The Sky can't keep games within 15 points, basically, when they're missing their 2 best players. I'll sacrifice the line move. Give me the Mystics.
Yeah. I also, I'll say this. If Ariel and Angel are randomly good to go, and we find out later today they're questionable, and then they're both ruled in yesterday, I'm taking the Sky. I don't like laying points with the Mystics. I've realized that the Mystics are not untrustworthy when they're a favorite, especially this many points. They're completely untrustworthy. And this will be Ariel Atkins. This will be like a real revenge game for Ariel Atkins, because last time she played, it was an early morning game, and they were playing at George Mason. They weren't even playing at formerly known as ESA, now is Care First Arena, and that's where Ariel Atkins had played all her games with the Mystics, basically all her games with the Mystics leading up to it in that arena, and that's where all the staff is, everything. So it's going to be all sunshines and rainbows to see Ariel back in that building, and I think that's going to be something very good, especially with her coming off an injury. I think she'll be able to have a really solid game. Angel Reese, I can't talk about her impact enough, and I think she's going to go at this team really hard if she's able to come back and play. So if both of them are playing, I think that the Sky are desperate enough where they're going to make this a hell of a game. And I'll take the points with the Sky no matter what if they're playing. But if they're not playing, it's chalk.
They're the worst team in the league by a mile when both of them don't play. So.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense. You're missing two
It
all-star
makes sense,
type
but it also
players.
touches upon what we've talked about all season, which is the supporting cast being really bad. So.
Yep. All right. 157.5 is total.
I have no thoughts either because the Sky can't defend anybody, but they can't score if they're missing their two best players. So.
Yeah, I need to know what's happening with Ariel and Angel before I get any closer
agree.
on the total. Are there even player? I doubt. Are there even player prospects?
If there are, it'd be limited, but I doubt it.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not because there's a really big question mark on the injury report here. So, all right, that's enough of that one. Let's get to the last game of the game. Oh, let's get to the last game of the day, Scott. There we go. That was better. Las Vegas Aces on the road going to play the Los Angeles Sparks. Wow, haven't seen this in a long time. The Aces and the Sparks are playing, and the Aces are only laying 2.5. 172.5 is the total. Kia Stokes didn't play in that last game. We'll mention that. I don't think Cam Brink is. I don't think she's coming back right now. I know they're working her back, and she's gonna be back at some point. And I think I remember hearing them saying they were targeting July. So I guess maybe she should be back because July is about to be over. But I gotta go. Let me deep dive into the interwebs and see if there's any update on Cam Brink. But they have now gotten to the point with Cam Brink where she is on the injury report and they just rule her out before every game rather than just not even mention her presence at all. So she's clearly on the way back. It was close versus the Liberty, but she wasn't there. She's cleared. It's just getting reps at this point and getting her back to speed with everybody. So now they're conditioning. So she's cleared, and now she's working on conditioning. So will she be conditioned enough to play for this game? We'll see. But as of now, I say handicap it as normal.
I think the wrong team's favored.
Really?
I do. Sparks, we've said many times, give the Aces a lot of problems, which has been a common trend that we followed. The Aces have been really bad recently. They beat the Wings by 20. Congratulations. The Wings are the worst team in the league, or one of the worst teams in the league. And Paige didn't play. So it was basically a free win on the calendar, for being honest here. Having said that, I still don't think this Aces team is wired properly. Jewel's been a mess this year. Point guard has not been as good as we thought she'd be. I think the Sparks, based on recent form, are playing really good basketball. They beat the Liberty in New York. They had a couple nice wins against the Mystics. They're trying to get back to a playoff spot potentially. I don't mind this team. This team's grown on me. They're actually starting to figure some stuff out. Now, based on the talent, they should have never been this bad in the standings, but they've won 5 in a row. They've been playing very good basketball. They are not a good home team. I'll point that out. But the Aces are also 6-9 on the road. But you're looking at the Aces against even mediocre competition or good competition. You had the Fever with no Caitlin. They lost by 10. Played the Lynx, lost by 31 points. That wasn't a back-to-back, but the point is, I'm going to go with the Sparks. I like how they're playing. They've won 5 in a row. They've, historically speaking, been very good against this team, which we also saw earlier in the year. I don't agree with the Aces laying 2.5 here. I feel like it's an overreaction to them scoring 100-plus points against one of the worst defenses in the league while they are missing arguably their best player. So I'm not going to read too much into it. The Sparks, though, went into New York. Yes, I know Stewie played 3 minutes, but they beat New York in New York, which is very tough to do. It's not fluky. They're playing well. Give me the Sparks money line.
I don't think it's fluky because, again, I talked about it. 5-1 ATS against the New York Liberty in their last 6 games. They just continue to give that team problems.
Yeah.
However, with that being said, so you have a team that they just have their number, and then you have 2 games against Connecticut and 2 games against the Mystics.
Yeah, the Mystics are okay, I guess. I mean, the Mystics are good at home. They beat the Mystics on the road. That's not bad.
And I'll give them that. I'll give them that. But it was kind of like split. The All-Star break was in the middle, and it was the last game, first game. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on the Sparks.
I'm not sold on them for being like a contender, but do I think that they are undervalued in this spot? I do, because I don't think the Aces are good.
I really don't like either one of these teams, honestly.
It's fine. I
I'm
just
not.
think
I'm
that
not.
laying 2.5 with the Aces, I'm just not interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in really laying points with the Aces either. But trusting the Sparks in a close game, like I could understand. I could understand if this was like 6. Okay, yeah, give me Sparks. 2. I'm not. I'm not all the way there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
I
not
like
gonna
the
lie. I'm
over in the
very
game.
50-50.
I don't see
Oh
any
yeah, that's the
defense
only.
being played.
That's the only thing that I'm interested in is in the over. Both of these two teams are scoring 90 plus points in their last 5 games, and they're giving up about the same amount in their last 5 games.
I believe
This
the
is
last 2 games, it was the first time in franchise history the Sparks scored 100-plus points in back-to-back games.
oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Candace Parker teams ain't never scored 100 back to back. I mean, I get that's really
Lisa?
hard to do.
No,
Yeah, like
Lisa's teams never scored 100
yeah,
back-to-back either.
like oh wow,
I saw that on ESPN, so that was the first time in team history they scored 100-plus in back-to-back.
Interesting. Okay. But I mean, 100 points is hard to do, so I get it.
It's only 40 minutes, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. Either way, over. Over, 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 over. As far as the side, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm 50-50. I think it can go either way. I'll go your way, and I'll take the points with you. Just because I really don't care. Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
I really can't make my mind up. I think it's too short of a line, and it could really go either way. Both of these two teams aren't playing their best basketball. But I mean, the Sparks did say that they're trying to go on a run, and they've won 5 straight. So I'll give you that. So I think the over, best play to go in this one, over 172.5. I think this is going to be closer. What's that one bet that we had that we were making? Both teams to score.
I don't think it was 90. I think it was 80. I think it was each team to score 80. That was on DraftKings.
Yeah. But I would play something like that. I can't pull it
Well,
up.
to read off the results so far this season, it was 96-81 Aces at home, and then the Sparks won the second game 97-89. So 2 very high totals. I like the over 2, but the number you're looking for was each team. I think it was 80.5.
80.5 or whatever it is. Just get the plus money. Whatever the plus money is in that bet, get the plus money wherever they set that line at. But I think that's a very, very, because it can't be 8.5. 80.5, that's like 160. So, oh, wait. All right. Pulling it up. Aces Sparks. What was it? It's under team props. Yeah. Both teams to score. So you can get 86.5 for 2-1. I think that's very doable. 80. If you want to just stick 85, that's plus 140. Cool.
It feels like the odds were better initially in the first couple games. They've kind of fixed it a little bit for this matchup.
If they get to 89.5, that's plus 330, both teams. Like, come on. Nobody's getting stops here. Nobody's getting stops. All right. Player props. We do have props in this game. Let's see. Where? I'll
start with Hamby.
Well, I was literally just about to go there. Okay, great. You take it away,
I'm trying to wonder if I want to go for points or points and rebounds because she's been really good lately. Points are at 15.5. Rebounds included 24.5. Just give me the points at 15.5 at minus 128. She's had at least 17 points in 8 of the last 9 games. She's been very good against her former team in the Aces. Reading off the numbers for Hamby, she has scored at least 18 points in 4 of the last 6 against this team. Good enough for me. Give me Hamby over 15.5 points.
Miss Fine Shit. Rickea Jackson. You have been so
game-winning
good.
Buzzer beater, Rickea Jackson.
So good. 7 of the last 10, she's been over 13.5. Coming off a 24-point buzzer beating win against the New York Liberty. I mean, just continue to just buy stock in Rickea Jackson. And just continue. So add Rickea into that. She's going to try to give and she's given the Aces buckets before. What is this? She's been cooking the Aces. 13, 16, 14, 15, 30 in the last game. What else? What else we got here? I don't care. I'm not going against her. I still like Asia to give them a game. And that's probably it for me. Um, hmm. Do they force Plum to give the ball up? I don't know. I just don't like betting Plum. I think that's just my thing. I feel like when I bet her, sometimes I hit, other times, and even when I hit at times, I'm not feeling the best about it throughout the game. I just think
I
she's
thought about
somebody
the
I don't like
assist for
betting.
Plum. It's at 5.5. She had 9 in the last game against the Aces, so she actually moved the ball pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The assists have been good. She has had at least 6 assists in 4 straight. A reminder, though, they have scored 100-plus points in back-to-back games, so their numbers might be a bit skewed. But she has had at least 6
Mm-hmm.
assists in 8 of the last 10. It's plus money. It's plus 106. And she had 9 in the last game against the Aces. So if I was going to go for anything on Plum, I'll go for the assist.
Last thing, Azare Stevens. Shout Azare for shouting out my Aggie Pride at HBCU night as well. Over 13.5 points. She's been over that in 8 of her last 10 games. She's been over that in 5 straight games, 21, 15, 15, 17, 17. She had 19 earlier this season against the Aces. Aces interior defense has been pretty bad. I mean, defense overall has just been pretty bad. But add Azare Stevens to the list of players that probably need a look for underdog today. All right. I think that's it for me here. More props in this game than betting aside. All right. That's 5. Let's close it out, Scott. Lock, dog, underdog. 2 days to look at. Lock. I really want to tell you that they're not going to get up for this game against the Liberty. I really do. But you know what? I really do think. I wish I could have caught a better line. I think I am getting a pretty bad part of the line. Let me go just double check, because I'm going to go ahead and lock up the under in the Valkyries and the Atlanta Dream game. Dream at home. They play slower pace, better defense at home. And I think the Valkyries are bouncing back from that game, at least on the defensive side of ball. Maybe they still have offensive woes, and that's fine with me, fine and dandy. But defensively, I don't think that they're going to give up that many points again. I think that they're going to lock down. The Dream have been very, very good to the under. Valkyries, one of the best under teams over the course of the entire season, 9-15 over the course of the season. So I am going to take the under. I think this is a good matchup to back the Valkyries, and yet another spot where they gave up 90-plus points the game after. They come back with some really, really good defense. I'm locked into this team. Give me under 157.5 going up against the Atlanta Dream. It's an ugly slobber knocker game. For my dog. Wow, I wish I had some news on Ariel and Angel, because if they're playing, I would 100% make this guy my dog. Let's go with a player prop, and we are just going to go back to Rakia. Maybe it's because it's fresh on my mind. Maybe because it's fresh on my mind, but I'm going to go back to Rakia. Where's Rakia? Because she had 30 last time against them. I don't need a lot. I just need 18. Rakia gives me 18 points. That's plus 245. Let's see. Rakia's had 20 points in 3 of her last 4 games. She's had 18 in 4 of her last 5 games. So, yeah. Give me Rakia. Do a little bit extra. Climb the ladder. Give me Rakia plus 245 at 18 plus points. That is my dog. Scott,
right, so for my lock, I'm going to go with the over in the Aces and Sparks game. Not going to get too creative with it. I just see points in this one. I think the Sparks win, but I don't think it's worth the gamble there. I'd rather just go for the safer option. Give me the over 172.5. Read it off before. The first 2 meetings were very high scoring. A lot of the recent meetings were high scoring, even including last year. 172.5 just feels too short. I expect that to climb. Give me the over, especially with the Sparks scoring 100 plus in 2 straight. Give me the over 172.5 at minus 110 as my lock. For my dog, same game parlay, even without Stewie, I think the Liberty are in a great spot. We saw the Wings give up 100 plus points at home on Sunday. Good enough for me. Give me the Liberty -8, parlayed with the over 172 plus 252 on DraftKings.
All right. Like it. Love it. Underdog.
Do you want to recycle Hamby and some other options? We can do Rakia instead if you want.
No, I already got Rakia. I don't need extra. I can go Azure, though. Perfectly fine.
I'll let you pick.
Whoa.
You want to go Azure or Hamby?
Wait. I'm trying to log in Underdog.
So you could pick whichever.
Okay, so we'll go Hamby, we'll go Stevens, and I mean, are we just making this an SG?
We can if you want to, but I was going to maybe.
But what would it be? Yeah, no, I don't, because I don't know what else I would want. What else are we going?
I don't know if you wanted to do something in the Storm Sun game. Probably not, but.
No, I'm good on that.
You want John Quell? No Brianna, just John Quell Cooks?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go with John Quell, points and rebounds. Fine. Where is that? Well, hold on. All right. There we go. So we'll go with John Quell, points and rebounds. And then, boom. So, Jonquel Jones, higher, 24.5 points and rebounds. We'll go Azure Stevens, a higher, 13.5 points. And what do we say, De'Erica? Are we just doing points with De'Erica?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. 15.5 points. There we go. De'Erica Hamby, 15.5 points. Higher. Azure Stevens, 13.5 points higher. And we've got Jonquel Jones, 24.5 points and rebounds higher. 6x on Underdog. $100. Let's get you $600 over there, Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Scott, anything else?
Not really. A fun episode. Of course, it's always nice covering 2 days in one episode. Should be fun. Looking forward once again to the games.
Yep. We will be back for Wednesday games. And maybe Thursday games too, hopefully. Yeah, there's only one game on Thursday, so hopefully they just go ahead and have that line out. I didn't realize the Valkyries play in DC on Thursday.
You might go.
Oh, well. Oh, let me go ahead and send a nice little email. Let me go send a nice email to see my Valkyries in person. I might have to rush deliver a jersey or a shirt or something. All right. Oh, they're going to be so pissed at me when they see me come in there with Valkyries gear. All right. With that, yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending podcast. Make sure you give him a follow at Rush Hour Radio. I'm at reallyreal __ 5 stars, WNBA Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. And give us a like, comment on Twitter, subscribe, all of that. I mean, on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, all of that. NBA Gambling Podcast is the feed. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just ending like this. We are out of here.